Welcome back to the madness, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. As you can see in front of me, I have the last novel of The Promised Neverland, so the last manga 20. And let me tell you what, it's good. I was so excited to get it. I was actually surprised it came out this quickly. I thought I was going to have to wait for a little while longer. I thought that it wasn't coming out until fall or winter, so I was really surprised when I went to Barnes & Noble and I checked the shelves, no matter what, to see if it was there, and it was there. I was so surprised. I was so happy. Part of me did not want to watch it. Read it, sorry. Part of me did not want to read it. I didn't want it to end. And the other part of me was scared that it was going to turn into how the anime ended, season 2 anime, and which is the series anime ending. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a video, it's probably 2 videos back from this, that I was so upset and I was so disappointed on how things were handled. So this, I'm okay with. I liked it. It had a good ending. This video is going to have spoilers, so anything I show you is a spoiler, anything I talk about is going to be a spoiler. Images that I have shown or will show, I have no rights to, ownership, any of that, so I don't get in trouble just on covering my bases. It's good. So if you don't know anything about Promised Neverland, I don't know why you're watching this, but Promised Neverland's about this group of kids who live in an orphanage, basically. And they are all friends, and they all hang out, and they're basically this big, huge family. And eventually they find out that they're actually being used as a farm to supply food to the demons of the demon world. And they learn that they're in the demon world. And so the main characters, Emma, Norma, and Ray, decide that they're going to free their brothers and sisters and all the other farms, because there's multiple farms of kids, that they're going to free, and they're all going to go to the human world. So this was the last book. I'm so sad that it's over, but it ended well. It wasn't like the manga where it was just like, and we're done. No one cares, we're finished. It doesn't care. Doesn't matter. It was actually good. We finally found out what the new promise was, and what the, as they call it, the reward was for making the new promise. And there was a big debate. I'm looking at the book while I'm talking, sorry. There was a big debate about how everyone felt about leaving things as they are, because a lot of people want revenge from the demons and from the Rattree, however you say it, clan. And I'm glad that they didn't drag it out to this whole thing, because honestly they could have had another book at this point if they wanted to pursue those things, but I think at that point it would have been too drawn out, so this was a good ending. So they end up going to the human world, which we figured they would. I was kind of curious, like about 5 books back, I'm like, how are we going to end this? What's going to happen? And Moonjaka, which is the bad demon, she ends up becoming the queen of the demons, which I think that happened in the anime. Can't remember. But the book before that, she didn't want to do it. Or they were suggesting her, but no. But that didn't make any sense either, because, like, and the book even called themselves out on it, because they said, I mean, like, last time you guys were wanting to kill her, and now you want her to be your queen, so that's weird. So I appreciate the book called themselves out on that part. I think it was just trying to connect wires so that they could be done with it. I did like the art style consistently through the 20 books. I did like that. Characters' storylines were finally coming to close, so nothing was left unanswered, so I do appreciate that, because sometimes mangas, they'll just leave this big huge elephant in the room, they'll never discuss what that meant or what was going to happen, and they actually covered all the bases. And it did mention that they're going to have like some short stories coming out of The Promised Neverland, so I'm not 100% sure if they're going to be like little novellas, or they're going to be a manga of short stories to like it kind of catches up on the kids and where they're at in the world, in the human world. I'm not sure. It says we'll keep working hard to just make it a bit longer and create more content. The anime, movie, and some short stories are still coming, so please continue to look forward to the never-ending Neverland. So it does say that there's some things coming. I know about the movie. I'm not 100% sure if they're going to have it kind of like the Attack on Titan live, where it's going to be all in Japanese, which is subtitles, or they're actually going to do like Death Note, where they had like the real voice actors voicing over for the Japanese voice actors. Not sure. But I am curious to see it. I hope it does come to America soon so we can enjoy it as well. It'd be cool if it came into a theater like Attack on Titan did. If you don't know anything about that, Attack on Titan had 2 live movies, so part 1 and part 2, and they came out in the theaters, select theaters in the United States, and I actually got to see both parts in the theater, and it was neat. I liked it. It did not follow the storyline at all, but you know how I am about that, so that's a total different topic. But I hope that with Promised Neverland, the movie, now that they have the full story, they can actually follow it correctly. They don't have to do every single little thing, but you might as well if you're going to do it. What's the point of doing it if you're not going to do it right, in my opinion? Some things surprised me. So, in the anime, the last episode, the kids meet all the moms and Grandma Isabella, who used to be their mom. And they just decide to join forces, which happens in the book, and they agree to go to the human world. Great. So in this book, I was surprised. Mom dies. Spoiler! Mom dies. And she actually sacrificed herself for her kids. And this is a character that I've always questioned. Is she in it for herself or is she in it for the kids? And there's so many times in the books, in the manga, and with the anime, that's like, this lady's horrible. Like, she purposely broke Emma's leg so that Emma couldn't escape. And she basically told them, give up, this is what it is. And was very unloving towards them, but now she is willing to sacrifice her life for them. So I don't know where that mentality switched. I mean, good for her. She did pick the winning side, I guess, so that's one way to look at it too. But she sacrificed herself so that the kids would be okay. A demon was going to kill them, so she got in the way and was killed instead. So it was like a character change that I'm not sure how I feel about, because we were taught so early in the manga and the anime that she was not this good person as she came off as, and she was in it for herself. She was in it to survive. She did what she had to do to survive. And that's actually a conversation that the kids had together, was forgiving the rat trees, forgiving the demons, and forgiving their mom and the other moms at the orphanages. And now that Mom is a grandma, she's in charge of the other moms. So they had this discussion. It's like, how can we forgive them for what they've done? And Emma, I think it was Emma, brought up the point that, you know what, we've done some things that we're not too proud of ourselves, and we did them because that's how we survived. So let's look at it that way. She's not this evil person that hates us. She did this because she loves us, and she gave us love up to the day that we died, so that we would at least know what love felt like. And she says the only reason that she pushed back against us and did not show us love towards the end was because we were basically ruining her security in life. And she had to do what she had to do to survive. Which, I kind of get it. I don't know how I feel about it. But I was surprised that she died. Because, like I said in the anime, she lives. Probably would have taken a whole nother episode to express that. So sorry, it started to pour, so I got distracted. So I was surprised by that, and something that the anime did not do was explain the new promise. So if you don't know anything about the Promised Neverland, again, there's a part of the story where they meet basically it's like the demon god. I don't know what to call them. They don't really have a name. It's more of an onomatopoeia than a name. It's like, is like their name. It's not even words. It's just something that you cannot pronounce. And even in the anime, they just call them the One instead of like their actual like name. So I don't think it's meant to have something that's pronounceable or whatever. So Emma meets up with this god and says, okay, I want to take away the old promise, which the old promise was the demons would stay on their side of the world, the humans would stay on their human side of the world, but there'd be a sacrifice that anyone that was in the farms would be used for food for the demons. And Emma made an arrangement with Munchika, who has the bad demon blood, so that if everyone in the kingdom drank her blood, they wouldn't need to eat humans anymore to remain human formed. So they can like walk and they can talk. They won't degenerate, which was an issue in the last few books and the last few episodes if you saw the anime. So that solved like this big huge problem, being able to take part of Munchika's blood and surviving that way. So they don't have to have the humans there to survive. So that was the original promise. And she says, I want to make a new promise with you. And of course, everything has a price to it. So the god said, okay, you can have whatever you want, but there's always a reward, which a reward would be to the gods. The god gets something in return. So Emma said, I want all of the children, including the children who have grown up, to be released from the farms and the experiment labs and free. And I want them all to go to the human world. He says, okay, sure, whatever you want. And then she's like, no, what do you want in return? And they're like, well, I wanted your family. And he's like, but based on your promise, I can't have your family. And that's where it left off in the book. And you're like, okay, what does that mean? And the kids are finally at the point where they can get to the human world. And they're all excited, but something that they've not really questioned, like maybe for like 2 seconds and that's it. Something they've never really questioned is, what was the promise that Emma made? They knew what she asked for, but they didn't know what she agreed to give in return. And that's always been a big question ever since she found the golden water and where the stars meet the sky, or the dark meets the light. So they were asking her, like last second, questioning her, like, what did you do? What did you promise? You better not have promised your life in exchange for ours. You better not have promised staying in the demon world and we get to go to the human world. And because we're not going if that's what you did. And she's like, no, we all get to go to the human world. We all get to live. We all get to go to the human world. We're all going to be happy and we're all going to be safe. And they're like, okay, great. So they cross over. Like, believing Emma. So they're just like, but they're also questioning it. They're like, well, that just seems a little too easy. That seems a little too easy. That's too simple, but okay, sure, we'll go with it. And finally, they get to the human world, and they wake up, and it was right in the anime, they wake up in America. They woke up in New York. So apparently, there is a portal to the human world in New York next to the Eiffel Tower. Cool stuff. But you also find out that other farm children were sent to other places in the world. So they did have like this news broadcaster saying that these weird children and adults with numbers on their neck have appeared in different parts of the world. And so somebody from the Rotary clan comes and picks them up and says, don't worry, we're not going to send you back. We're aware of the new promise. It is our job to help you fit in here. And so they help them adjust. But the one thing is they notice that Emma is not there. So they're trying to figure out, where's Emma? Is she still in the demon world? Did she get sent to the human world? If so, where? Is she even alive? And so they're questioning this. And of course these kids are so sweet and they're so positive. So they're like, we have to believe that she's alive. And we know that we can get through anything together. And that's all they leave it as. Like, she's alive, we have to be positive about that, and we will look forward until the end of time. And they're looking for her for 2 years. 2 years! They're looking for this girl. And they don't give up. They just keep looking all around the world for Emma. And they said that's the one thing is they want to be together. That's all they want. That was what they wanted in the beginning, and that's still what they want at the end, is just to be together. That is the goal. And so Emma is actually in this wasteland. It looked like snow to me in the manga, but I think it could be interpreted as like dust. I don't know, because it was like one of those inhabited areas, and like the guy was wearing like a face mask, but he was also bundled up pretty tightly. It was winter. I take that back. It was winter because he said he couldn't leave until spring. So she meets this guy. He finds her outside in the middle of the snow, and it's like this village that's been like destroyed from war, and like this America, like New York City that these kids end up going to, isn't really New York anymore. It's basically, there's been such, their words, a epidemic and a pandemic. And so basically what's happening now has led to what they are in human world in 2046. So 26 years from now, there is not a United States anymore. It's all just like in sections or like sectors. Like number 1 is the old United States, number 2 is Canada, 3 is Europe. So it's interesting to see, and it was interesting to read some of the pages because there was actually like this abandoned store with a big window, and it actually said coronavirus on it. And I thought that was interesting because obviously when they wrote this, the coronavirus was happening, so they were able to at least, I don't know if in the Japanese version, but at least in the American version, they were able to put coronavirus on the window. So you could see like, okay, that's something that kind of impacted what this world's like. But it's still a pretty safe and decent place. And so Emma wakes up at this guy's abandoned place where there's like a bunch of like crosses everywhere because his entire family died. And that's why he stays there, is just to honor his family. But she doesn't know her name. She doesn't know anything about Gracefield. She doesn't remember the demon world. She doesn't remember anything. She doesn't remember her friends. She doesn't remember making a promise. No clue about anything. And that is her punishment, or her price that she had to pay, was that she will never see her family again. So the demon god said, I want your family, and how I'm going to get it is I'm going to take all of your memories of them away, and you'll never get to see them again. But it's supposed to show at the end that like the kids are so determined to be a family and be a part of each other that they search for 2 years and they finally find her in a marketplace. And of course she has no clue who they are, and they're like convincing her like who we are, and she's like, I have no clue who you are. But they finally all agree that, you know what, it's a start. This is okay. If this is the sacrifice we have to make, we have to relearn who you are. We have to find out who this new Emma is. As long as we're together, that's okay. And that's where it ends. It basically just ends, as long as we're safe together, no one cares. And I think it was Norman that just said, thank goodness that you're okay. Like, it's one of the things that we wanted the most, was just everyone to be together and safe, and you're here, and that's all that matters. I kind of wish they hadn't have taken her whole memory away and made it to where you couldn't remember her at all. I kind of like, she was having like dreams of like these blurred images of people that she should know, and she'd wake up disappointed because she's not with them, but she doesn't know who they are. So they do have that part of it, but I kind of wish she would have like snapped back into the end of the book and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember everything, but that's just not how it worked. But it's kind of like now their new journey is she's relearning everything, and she has a fresh start. She's been through so much, and she's actually getting a fresh start. She's literally starting over, and everyone that loves her is there. I don't know how she feels about them. It'd be interesting if she didn't like them. There has to be a lot of PTSD in that group. I mean, just think about it. Like, so much PTSD. They're going to be so messed up. But I guess that's just logical world, not book world. But it's just so sweet. The ending was good. It's a bittersweet experience because it's over. Still disappointed in the anime. They had so much potential. I hope they do like they did Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and they go back and they do it again, and they do it by the book, because that would give them so much more to work with, and it could be really epic. The newest anime and manga to be coming to a close is Attack on Titan. So that's something that I'll be talking about. I'm pretty sure that that is the late fall winter release that I was thinking about. So they're going to be a little while. The manga is going to be a little bit, and then the anime is going to be after that, I'm assuming. I really am nervous about that too, because I don't want it to be a dumb ending. I've heard rumors about stuff, but I also heard rumors about The Promised Neverland, and it wasn't really what I thought it'd be either. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed. A new manga I started is The Ways of the House Husband. I'm really liking it. The wittiness of it, the attitude of the character, the inside jokes. It's like constantly inside jokes about this character. So one day I'm going to talk to you guys about The Way of the House Husband, because it's easy read. It's a quick read. I've literally gone to Barnes & Noble and just read the books, and I can read them in like 20 minutes. So it's an easy read, but it's a good read. I'm just really looking forward to finding something new, and hopefully it's something that's worth my time and it's good. And if anyone has recommendations, I will gladly take them. I'm always looking for something good to read or watch. I just wanted to show you a couple pages. Look at that. Isn't it cute? And it says we found her. I know it's like reverse mirror, but they're finally at the beach and they're happy. So I appreciate your guys' patience for me to actually get the book. If you know me, I prefer the English versions of the book. I don't sit there and try to translate Japanese. So I do have to wait for like the English mangas to come out for me to actually appreciate them and fully understand it. So I know I'm a little late to the show, but this is just how I roll. I loved it. It was good. My only regret is the manga is way better than the anime. And I wish the anime could have been just as good as the manga. I will always hold season 1 of the anime to my heart. I love it. I'll watch it over and over again. Season 2, I'm going to pretend it never happened. And I think that's what most fans are doing. Season 2 never happened, and that's okay. I mean, we waited how many years for Attack on Titan Season 2? We can wait forever for Season 2 of Promised Neverland. It never happened. But this was a great series. I found out about it just by watching Adult Swim, and they advertised the first season before it even started. And I thought, oh, that sounds kind of good. And I also did catch a couple of episodes of it, and then I just picked up the manga because I'm like, oh, this is good. I want to see how it's different from the original. And I think they have like 6 books then, or 7. And so I went out and bought those books, and I read them, and I got caught up. And it was something that I was going through a little bit of challenging time in my life at that point, and so it was very important to me, and it got me through some things. So watching the manga and watching the anime and reading this manga, I needed it, and I didn't know I needed it. So now that I've been through this experience, I can relive it anytime I want because I have all the books. It's time to relax and move on. A little sad, but I'm so excited because if this is what we're doing in 2021 with manga and anime, it's only going to get better. It has to get better. There's no other way around it. So I hope you guys have a great day. Know that you're appreciated. I appreciate you being here, of course. Do something fun today. Today, the highlight of my day is I'm watching it rain. So enjoy your life. Enjoy something. Have fun. Do something for yourself, even if it's just getting out of bed and taking a shower. You're doing good enough. Oh, and also, side note, I rescued a rat from a storm drain today. That was exciting. It was pouring down rain, and there's like this storm drain gate thing in front of the garage where I work, and there was this little nose poking up. I'm like, what is that? And it was this rat. I thought it was a mouse at first. It was a huge rat. Huge. And it was just trying to get out of the rain, and it got in the drain, and it couldn't get out, and it was all wet. So I helped it get out, and of course this stupid thing keeps running down further into the drain where it's like drowning itself because it's afraid of me. I'm like, I'm walking away, just get out. So it finally got out, and it just looked at me and it ran away, and the poor thing was soaked. But so someone did survive today. So good story for the rat, and a good ending for a good series. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.